It's just another game. Like I said, we got to play our game. We have to constantly do what we do. We have to play the same game we played against Wyoming. We have to play the same game we played against BYU. We have to play the same game we played against Utah. Like, we have to play the same football. We play it all year.
I know maybe from the outside looking, it looks like you guys like really thrive on that. But at some point, does it kind of get old that people doubt you and everything, and you really don't need that for motivation at the end of the day?
No, I don't think so. I think like that motivation of being the underdog. I feel like that's kind of the gas that we use to playing these types of games, and I feel like that's kind of what fueled us all year. And it's always something new about what's being said about us, and I feel like that's kind of what's continuing to drive this team to continue to try to prove people wrong.
Cam, same question.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have doubt, you'll never be successful. Because if you think you're successful, then you'll start falling. And I think the doubt that people give to us for free is extremely, motivating to everybody. And like I said, if you have doubt, you'll be successful in life because you're going to constantly want to prove somebody wrong.
Blake Neiman, Sundevils source. Cam, the last time you were on a national stage like this in the Big 12 Championship, you made the most of it. What excites you about the opportunity to play Texas in a stage like this in the CFP?
Yeah, I mean, I get to play another football game. I'm excited for that, and I'll always be blessed to keep playing. And then no matter what happens, hopefully keep playing football games. I'm super excited to be on the field at the highest level against the highest competition. They're going to be a team that we're going to have to fight against the whole game. And, it's something I got to put on my shoulders and understand that, I got a lot of work to do. So, practice has been good, and we're ready to go.
Hey, guys. Robbie Baker with Fox 10. For both of you, you had the extra time with the bye week, now getting ready to head to Atlanta tomorrow. Does it start to feel any different, any more real or anything like that?
I think it, like for us, we treat it as a normal game week, and I feel like that's kind of how we don't treat any game any bigger or any smaller than it already is. I mean, we're one of the last 8 teams in college football for college football playoff, but at the same time, like we do what wins, and we treat it the same way we would any other week. So although we leave tomorrow on a Sunday, to us it's really like another Wednesday practice. So we kind of keep that same process and that same routine that's gotten us to this point.
Yeah, exactly. Dillingham preaches every day. Play the game. Don't play the moment. You're not playing the Peach Bowl, Chick-fil-A. You're not playing against Chick-fil-A. You're playing against Texas. You're playing a football game against 11 people in front of you. You're not playing anything else. You're not playing against the fans. You're not playing against the other coaches. You're playing against the team in front of you. So I think we've been focused each week. I think that's been something we've been falling on. Is making sure that we're not playing the moment and we're playing the game.
Doug, Chris, and then Blake.
Hi, guys. Doug Haller at The Athletic. Kenny has preached for the last 2 years, since he's gotten here, that you guys are going to work hard, but you're also going to have fun. How much has that ability to kind of keep things loose, keep things light during this run, which have had some stressful moments, how much do you think that has helped you guys get to where you are?
Yeah, I think that falls on us 100%. Coach Dillingham can make it the hardest practice in the world or the lightest practice in the world, but at the end of the day, we have to take it serious. We could do 7 walkthroughs all week, but if we don't take them serious, it's going to be a joke. We can also take them very serious, and it could be a completely different turnaround. So I think the preparation that players have to have for the mindset of going into a game like this takes a huge role in it because, no matter what we're doing or how we're practicing, everyone has to be locked in. And I think that's a big thing that we have to continue to keep going.
Yeah, I think that the success of this team is all because of the leaders of the program. I think the leaders of the program kind of helped us uphold the pillars of the program. We preach about make good decisions, be a good person, have more fun working harder than anyone in the country. And we have those pillars instilled in our program, and I feel like a lot of the players have bought into that, and I feel like that's why we're so successful, where we hold each other accountable, and a lot of people, new transfers that come in, they understand really quickly, like, what the culture is around this team, and I feel like that's kind of what's separating us at this point.
Chris, Blake, and Jake.
Chris Cartman, son of a source. You guys had a little more time off, so do you guys feel like better physically now? And then how does that help prepare? Like, do you have more into your game plan? Do you think in games like this you might have more trick plays without revealing anything? But what is different about this game due to having the time off and your health and everything?
I think for us, for especially the O-line, from the O-line perspective, like a lot of us are kind of a little banged up right after the championship game, so we're able to take advantage of taking that week off and getting our bodies back. So it definitely helped us. A lot of people think that having the bye week, you kind of lose your game shape, if that makes sense, like having your game shape and stuff like that. But I feel like with the week, like last week, we were able to take advantage of practicing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and having it really tough practices to get us back in shape. So we were able to utilize that week to really get our bodies back, but at the same time, ramp it back up the next week and get ready for the game.
Can you repeat it again?
Yeah, well, is there an advantage to having more time to be able to build more into your game plan or be more locked into what you guys do?
Yeah, there's a huge advantage. We had 3 weeks off. You don't get that very often, and unless you're playing in the first game of the season. You got a whole fall camp to prepare for the first team. But I think the biggest thing is we've been taking it one day at a time, and then we realized who we're playing, and then we started preparing. I don't think the coaches tried to do too much before we knew who we were playing, because that's when you get in your own head and you start thinking way out of the box. And Coach Dillingham preaches to us all the time: if you're doing trick plays, you're probably not feeling very good about winning the game. We're gonna play our game. We're gonna do what we do and come out with the win.
Leif, looking at this Texas defensive line, pretty physical up front. What are your initial impressions of that, and what's kind of the offensive line mantra to try and counter against that?
Yeah, I think their front seven is a really good group. I think they're very physical. They're very long. They're very talented as well. Just off of the depth chart, you have like 6'4", 6'6", like all across the board. And so the offensive line never really stepped down from a challenge, but at the same time, they're physical and we're physical. So the whole emphasis of this week is to match physicality with physicality. So I think that's kind of our game plan to go toe to toe with Texas. That's kind of our mantra in the offensive line room. They got to face us as well. So I think that's kind of the key for this game, to be physical on the offensive line.
Jake Sloan, Devil's Digest. You guys, 3 of your last 4 games you've played have come against top 25 teams and the best defenses in the Big 12. What is playing teams like that towards the end of the season do for a game like this against a defense like Texas?
Yeah, I mean, it prepares you, but nothing prepares you for the number 5 rushing defense in the country, unless you're playing the number 4 or 3 or 2 or 1, So, like I said, we have to continue to make sure we are on top of our stuff, and that we're focused on what we're doing, because we can think about everybody else and how everybody else ran the ball on them, but we don't have those players. We have our players. So I think the biggest thing is focusing on what our O-line can do with our running back, and our quarterback, and our receivers, and understanding that if we focus on playing our game, we'll be just fine.
And then for both of you, to piggyback off that, Cam, what do you feel that how the offensive line has grown this year has helped your game? And then Leif, like with what Cam and the running backs have been able to do, how has that helped you guys grow as a group?
For him, I mean, he's an awesome back. Like he's very passionate and very emotional, and we kind of feed off of that, and that's kind of what the attitude that we play with as well. The energy that he gives off right before we break the huddle on the sideline, it gives us that much of an edge, that we play with, and I feel like that's kind of what we were able to lean on, late in the season, where we play with an attitude and we play with an edge, and I feel like that's kind of what we're feeding off of when we run block for scat.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing is, like he said, they feed off my energy. When you see a 220-pound guy run over a 6'6", 300-pounder, what makes you think you can't do it? So that's why I do it. I set the tone from the jump due to the fact that I'm showing them if I can do it, they can do it. And if they're physical it's possible. And they've done a great job all year, of constantly getting better. They're not the best, but they're getting better every week, which is what matters. And that's why I love playing behind them, because the chemistry between an O line and a running back has to be there. It has to. And the last 4 months of the season, like the last 4 months of our lives, we've done nothing but connect and get better together. And the way they block and the way I run, they feel the way I run. They know where I'm going to be at. They know how fast it takes me to get through the hole. And then also me too. Like, I know when those two guys are going to come off that double block to the linebacker. And that's just something that naturally comes. You don't really talk about that. And that's the biggest thing that I think has been helping us, just knowing each other, and being able to play with a couple of the guys on the line last year. But the connection between us has been getting stronger, which is why both of us are successful.
Leif, you kind of touched on it, but just Cam, for your perspective, what's kind of the internal messaging motivation that the group as a team is talking about this week? Just another game, or is it something extra this week?
It's always something extra in your own mind, but it's just another game. Like I said, we got to play our game. We have to constantly do what we do. We have to play the same game we played against Wyoming. We have to play the same game we played against BYU. We have to play the same game we played against Utah. Like, we have to play the same football. We play it all year. And if we do that, we'll be just fine. If we keep this, we either blow it out or we keep the game close. Why not? So if we can play our game and fight until the end, I think we'll be just okay.
Carrie, 12 News for both of you. Just talking about that, this is an emotional team, a team with heart. You see it from your coach. How much does the passion from the fan base and kind of feeling that surge, I'm sure you guys have felt it in these past 3 weeks being off, how much does that play motivation as you guys head to Atlanta?
It helps a lot. You like at our banquet, we had the Peach Bowl team there as well. Some of the players and coaches that were there as well. So seeing them, supporting us, going to Atlanta, they've been in the same position we've been in that we are right now. So it helps to see that those guys care. It helps to see that the alumni cares. It also helps to see that the community cares. For them to support us to where we are now, it helps a lot. And it's definitely we have a chip on our shoulder to play for those people that support us since day one.
Yeah, exactly. Just having the support. The more we win, the more support we're going to have. And you start seeing people come out of the woodworks supporting ASU. I think the last time, a year ago from today, I went to Walmart and I didn't see one ASU shirt. Now I see a whole section and everybody in the store wearing it. So it's awesome, because people are proud to be ASU fans, and that's what we're here for. We don't want to, make people feel like they can't support something, and the fact that we've been succeeding is helping people, and I'm sure it's putting smiles on people's faces. Like I say all the time, it makes people happy to see the team they like and actually be able to cheer for them.
When it comes to that underdog role, I know that's something that you guys have been facing pretty much the whole season. From the outside looking in, maybe it seems like, okay, at some point it doesn't really mean that much because you guys just hear that underdog role, week after week after week, and maybe kind of really goes over your head, and maybe there's other stuff that motivate you. But do you feel personally that underdog role is something that just is always fuel to the fire, or you just kind of really put it in its own perspective because maybe you guys heard it a lot during the season?
I mean, yeah, I had said it in an interview about like last week or 2 weeks ago that, most of the players on this team are underdogs, and that's kind of the identity that we came in here with. You think about most of our star players, Shamari Simmons, Xavier Alford, Jordan Tyson, Sam Leavitt, Cam Skattebo, FCS. I was FCS. A lot of guys are FCS transfers or guys that were backups at their old school, and you see a lot of guys from Texas that transferred here because they had to go get some more playing time. So it's just kind of our underdog role. That it's just our identity, and a lot of us just are hungry just to go out there and compete. And when we get our opportunity, like we do on the big stage against Iowa State and big games against Kansas State, BYU, we make plays. And got Sam Leavitt, he transferred here too, and he's just he was hungry. Day one, he got on campus, and that's just kind of who we are off the field as well. So it's just kind of like it would happen organically, and it wasn't forced at all.
Blake Neiman from Sundevils Source. Sam, you've talked about all season about your excitement and wanting to play in big games and be under the big lights. With now being in the college football playoff, what excites you about this opportunity to play against one of college football's blue bloods in Texas in the CFP?
Yeah, just to, have everybody see, what we can really do as a team, and what I can do as an individual, and, just the opportunity to be on this stage against, one of the best teams in college football. And, it's just all you can ask for is an opportunity. And, we've done something with it every time this season. So I'm just excited to be able to be on that stage and under those lights in that arena and just feel the juice and be with my guys and be able to compete.
Hey guys, Robbie Baker with Fox 10. Cam was just saying a few minutes ago how unusual it is when you're playing in a season to have 3 weeks off like you guys had with this bye. What is this time off kind of been like? Maybe a chance to recharge the batteries a little bit.
For the guys that play most of the season, just get our bodies back. This late in the season is about who's staying healthy and who can execute. But those 3 weeks off, we wasn't just go on vacation and stuff. The guys got their body right, mind right. And we hit the ground running when we came back from break, and even we had a short 24 hours for Christmas and stuff. But Coach Dillingham did a good job of just getting everybody on schedule, make sure we're not losing a step. And we've been having great practices since we've been back. Nobody's really tired, out of shape. Body's healthy, and just trying to get everybody as close to 100% as possible come Wednesday.
Yeah, I feel like there's a way to approach it. You don't want to tire yourself out in those 3 weeks and just constantly grind. Because, it's a long season. So you got that time off, and you got to take a little bit of time to yourself. So you have to understand what the exact time period is where I'm going to relax and take time to myself and just let my body heal and my mind, relax, because there's so much toll of the whole season and stress and everything like that. And then when you got to get back to work, understand that you can't, you got to ease back into it a little bit, and then it's full throttle once you get back into the motion of things. So it was a good time off, and I'm fully re-energized and ready to go.
Chris Cartman, Sundevils Source. Sam, were you studying Texas and Clemson even before that game was played, and having more time to watch film of Texas, does that help, and if so, in what ways?
No, I wasn't watching Clemson and Texas because I didn't want to, watch one team and the other and then get confused. Wait, I thought that was Clemson or Texas, so I kind of waited to see what the team, whoever won was, and, as soon as the game was over, then you dial it in, because then you get that time where they're still recovering to be able to dial it in and everything like that. But, we've had some time to, it's a longer week than normal, so you got to be extra prepared and know your game plan even better and see certain looks and understand what you're going to do with that.
And then what are the things you've seen that have led to them generating so many turnovers?
I would just say them being so stout and everybody being where they're supposed to be, and then they have players on top of that, corners that are driving routes in a cover 3 look, and, safeties playing aggressive, and everybody's where they're supposed to be, and they're, physically dominant. So when you get those two things combined, you're able to play coverage behind a base look, and then the quarterback feels flustered and might make some dumb plays. So that's one thing that I'm going to really emphasize going into this game, just being smart with the ball.
Guys, Kenny has said that from day one that he was always you guys were going to work harder than anybody, but you're also going to have fun doing it. How much has that ability to kind of keep things loose helped you? Sam, you mentioned kind of the monotony of the long season. How much has that kind of helped you during this run, just his ability to keep things light on occasion?
Yeah, I think it makes you play better. Me, I've always, everybody who's here, they enjoy the game at some point, and people lose sight of that. I feel like when they get to this level or even the NFL, and they think it's too much of a job, or it's not a game. And it's at the end of the day, it's still a game that you're playing, and you might be doing it for a bigger purpose, but you got to enjoy what you do. And if you do that, then you're going to work even harder and play even harder and want to win more and everything like that. So I feel like first you got to enjoy the game and the moments, and be able to when you step in the building, love being in the place that you're being at. Not only the environment outside of football, but the people in the building. So that's one thing that I feel like we offer at ASU that nobody else does, is be able to be at this winning program in this big of a city and have this culture.
Yeah, it's just getting the right guys. That's the first step. Is getting the right guys here. Coach Dillingham gives us a lot of, freedom to express ourselves and be who we are on practice on a game day. And but that comes, you have to earn that. That's just something that getting the right guys in here who are gonna honor that. And so Coach Dillingham allowing us to have fun all the time. And obviously it helps us play relaxed, but he's got the guys in here. We know when to turn it on. We know when okay, it's time to focus. It's time to work hard, put your head down, and we got all the right guys on this team that want to. The guys who are on this team right now are just all, you don't even have to tell them to go. That's just what they're going to do. It's just getting the right guys in who are going to work hard regardless of the situation, time off or bye week, or if we're winning 6 games in a row like we have. And it's just about, being focused and detailed in everything you do.
Hey guys, Jake Sundevils Digest. Question for Xavier. You've been here through the highs and lows, the 3-9 season last year to now. What have you seen from not only the returners but the new guys, just the overall energy of the locker room and the community surround you guys that have been supporting you all year long?
Yeah, I mean, it started back in January. It really started when Coach Dillingham first got here. He established a culture, and I know in the day of social media, everything is just everybody wants instant success and overnight success, and like things like what Coach Dillingham is building a culture. It takes time, and like what's the saying? Rome wasn't built in a day, or something like that. It's just it takes time, and the fact that he was able to do it in year 2, get a Big 12 championship, this is a testament to what he was trying to build and getting the right guys in. So yeah, I was there for the 3-9 season. A lot of dudes injured. I was one of them. But it's just sticking to the game plan, not going astray, not leaving just because it's not working out. But the guys that stayed, like Caleb McCullough, the guys who stayed, or Scat, and trusting Coach Dillingham staying another year, and just trusting the process and knowing that things take time, especially if something like this magnitude that we're trying to build that's different from a lot of the teams in the country. We're trying to build a culture, getting the right guys in here, and that's what we want coming in. Guys like Sam, young cats like Sam, and more guys. Just we want transfer portal guys that want to come in and come to fit this culture, not try to do their own thing, but buy into what Coach Dillingham's selling.
Quick follow-up on that. You were a little banged up earlier in the year battling that hamstring injury, and now you and Sam have continued to thrive off of the connection that you guys have built. How does it feel to build off of that connection throughout the year and step up when your team needs you most?
Yeah, and I'm a fifth-year senior, so I've been through it all since my freshman year. I've been the main guy, I've been the bench guy, I've been the backup, I've been the number 2 receiver. So it's just being ready at all times. I know injuries happen. That's a game of football. If I didn't want to get injured, I'd go play tennis or something like that. But I play a physical game, and I play a lot of reps every single game. So injuries are going to happen. You're going to do, hamstrings and stuff. But it's just staying ready. And, Sam knew I was ready. And same with Melquan. Malik McClain didn't play since week 4 back in September, or Texas Tech. And the first thing comes and makes a crazy one-glove catch. Like, he didn't even have a other glove on. So it's just a testament to our receiver group, just being able to stay ready at all times. And it's what Coach Ward teaches, just being ready. And, Sam trusts us, and it wasn't no hesitation with him.
Sam, for you personally in this game, what do you think are the essential keys for you to help broaden the team's success as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, as an offense, we got to, limit negatives on first and second down and just stay in normal down distances. And then, third downs, we got to convert and, take care of the ball. It's kind of basic stuff, but, I feel like teams haven't done a great job with that, and the teams that have, like Georgia, then they struggled with that. And, when Clemson had their best drives, it was when they did those things. So I got to extend plays and, get to my checkdowns and, make plays when they need to be made, just rely on my guys.
Just a quick follow-up on that. How do you feel your abilities in those areas have progressed and grown throughout the season?
Yeah, I'd just say it's understanding situational ball, because early in the season I might force a ball on, P&10 when there's no reason to. Now we're 2nd and 10 rather than go to your check down. Now we're 2nd and 6. Now it's a different play call to get to 3rd and manageable, with a 3-yard gain versus a 7-yard, and just changes everything from the box's point of view with Coach Arroyo, with how he calls it. So me and him getting on the same page and understanding what the goal of each play is, I would say is probably one of the biggest areas where I've grown.
Damon Allred, Arizona Sports. With Quinn Ewers kind of being one of the bigger faces in college football and kind of being at one of the points I'm sure you'd like to get to in your career, how are you viewing this matchup, and how familiar are you with his game?
Yeah, I've watched him for a fair amount of time now. I'm just excited for the opportunity. People keep counting me out since day one, and I'm gonna go prove I'm the better quarterback. And that's how I feel since day one. So I'm gonna go put everybody on the map.
Carrie, 12 News. This is for both of you, but just you can probably feel the surge from the community and the passion from the fan base that you guys have ignited. And I know that's kind of been the motto from Coach Dillingham. But for you, how much has that served as motivation, and how have you felt maybe a shift as you guys head to Atlanta with these past 3 weeks off to see the fan base kind of collectively find more passion?
I mean, it's sports, and fans want to see their team win. They want to see they want to get their money's worth come game time. So I feel like we've been putting a product out there with the players and the games that we've been winning. So it's been nice having fans show up to the games, even the away games. The last game turned out and down in the Cowboy Stadium in Texas was nice, and it's good just to have that. It's like the 12th man to see it. The thing the Seahawks do is just it's real. Having that type of energy, it helps a lot, and just keep coming, man. Please, if you can get a ticket, find some money. I know we've been keep winning and stuff, but find some money, come down to Atlanta and stuff. So bring your kids, all your aunties, uncles and stuff. It helps a lot when you guys show up.
Question for Sam. You've played against some physical defenses this year, been banged up against Utah, but playing against a defense like Texas, there's only so much you can do to really prepare. So how are you going to be able to take the hits but keep the next play mentality going?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully I don't take too many hits as a quarterback.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be too good. Our team's really physical and we're tough, so we're gonna go play some SEC ball and see what that really entails.
And then for both of you guys, obviously when team improves and you guys are all doing your job, I know Coach has talked about that, and you mentioned that, Sam, trusting each other, but the growth overall of just the offensive line, obviously I know it's important for you, but just what have you seen from them, and how have they helped? I mean, just the team just in general in growth.
Yeah, I mean the O-line comes to work every single day, and they're such good people, and they're led by Leif, and he's a great leader, and he gets me going in practice, and even in the games and everything like that. And you can look at a man in their eyes and just trust that they're gonna abide by their word and really put the work in, and that whole O-line group is everything to do with that. So it first starts with your mental, and then their physical ability. We got some big dudes up front, and they got the ability to go do what they do, and y'all can see that's been a product with Scat in the run game, me having time in the pass game. So they are what gets the ball rolling on offense, and everything starts up front with them.
And then X, to follow up on that, I know obviously receivers want to get the ball, but going up against your defense and being physical has been since the beginning of fall camp. Getting downfield and blocking. I know Coach Ward has talked about that, and you've even mentioned like you're going to block her. Obviously, you're probably not going to be out there, but how has been going up against your guys' defense, you feel, improved the receiver room and blocking?
Yeah, it's just Shamari Simmons, Xavier on the offer, Ghost Riser. They're all just heat-seeking missiles. They're hard to block during practice. Like I'm good on blocking during game day because those dudes are just, you see them on game day, they're just shooting the gaps, and them boys is hard to block and stuff. So when come game time, I'm able to, I've got that rep, hundreds of times since fall camp and stuff. So when it come game time, I'm ready to, block for Scat, and then just going back to our old line, the type of guys that we are. I'm 40 yards down the field, and I see number 79 and Fautanu running past me. I'm like, bro, we're 40 yards down the field. That just goes to show you what kind of guys that we got on our team. Our old line's not going to be, sandbagging. I think that's what they say, sandbagging. And them boys work hard from top to bottom and stuff. So you don't want to be the odd man out, because if you out there not blocking, you're going to stick out like a sore thumb and stuff. So you have to, be going full out because everybody else is.